MK and I am back with another Scraptember 2022 prompt, and today's prompt is a long title. So I came up with this one right here. It is just a book that my daughter read, one of the I Survived books that she made a book report on, and the alphas that I used were this thicker set. It's called excuse me, Count the Ways, and I'm always trying to find excuses to use this, and when it comes to my little one, that's the best excuse. I also use this Vicki Boutin inspired one called Decoupage. Then from one of her 6x6 collections, I think it's Storybook, I pulled out these 6x8 papers. I have this cut apart left over from my conspiracy kit last year. And then I have 3 photos that I'm going to try to make work on this layout. I have a few more other things from the Storyteller collection by Vicki Boutin. I thought that I pulled out more of those stars, but then I realized I didn't. I have these banner pieces also by Storyteller. I have a few circles that I cut for some other project, some other time. I can't remember when, but I plan on using them up, or at least some of them. I have a few odds and ends. Like I said, I thought I pulled out all the other stars, and then I decided, well, if I didn't pull out any of them, I'm not going to use one. I have a die cut, a leftover reel, what's it called? Film reel? I don't remember. And then this paper here, I do not remember what collection this one is from, but I just pulled it from a paper pad that I had. I love that peach color on the back, but I plan on using this ledger paper on the front. And then from 49 and Market Hike More, I'm going to see if I can't add this branding strip. I love adding little details like this to the layout. It just draws your eye around the layout, trying to find all the little details. When I make my layouts, it's based off of what I hear my kids say when they go through the books. I try to get my photos or my pages back into the albums as fast as possible. Basically what that means is as soon as I'm done taking photos for my, for adding them to my videos, they're back in the album. And then as soon as the album is completed, I put it on the shelf outside of my room, and then my kids, they just start looking through the albums. And sometimes it starts with the most recent, and sometimes it starts with the least. Or they go backwards. It all depends. So anyways, I just wanted to share that with you guys, that I do listen to what their eye catches and what what they focus on when it comes to looking through the albums. And it is definitely not only, what they're doing in the photos and do you remember this? Do you remember that type of deal? But it's also, like what they see as far as the personalization of the albums pages as well. So for this one here, it is my little girl. She worked really hard on this cereal box book report. The book reports, you guys, they're just crazy these days. Seriously. And so she worked really hard. She wanted to take a picture of it because she was supposed to color it and she was supposed to write all over it, and then cover up a cereal box. And so that's what this is. And when she wants to keep projects like this that she's pretty proud of, I take pictures of them instead of keeping the actual item. I just go ahead and I take pictures, and then it's a fun layout for me to create because there's really not much I have to do in order to, maintain it or anything like that. So I definitely wanted to pull out the Storyteller collection because I honestly thought that it was more about, the love of books and reading and all that stuff. It never occurred to me that the Storyteller collection was about actually telling your story. Which, don't ask me, you guys. I just, my mind went somewhere else when I ended up with that collection because I honestly thought that it was about, the love of books, the love of yes, storytelling, I get it. But I really wanted it to be more, documentation because we are book readers in our house. We all love a good book. Sometimes we're reading 2 to 3 at a time. And yes, my children ask to take multiple books on car rides. They even ask to take books to the grocery store. So that is definitely something that I want to document, so that way their children know how important it was when it came to reading books. And so I really thought that this collection was going to be the one that, helped me document that and have lots of books to add and all that other stuff. And no, I was looking through it this time. I've used it several times, and it took this layout to realize it's not about documenting the books you read or the love of books or anything like that. So anywho, now I do know that I've got a bunch of, bright colors with dull colors and things like that. I'm mixing all this stuff up. But I really wanted my daughter's personality to shine, and these pinks and peaches and reds and stuff are exactly my daughter. They're just beautiful for my daughter, and so I really like bringing them in and whatnot. Plus, they're the last little bits that I had, just trying to clean out my stash and make things work. Because I want them to. I do know that the peach in the flowers brings in the peach from the rest of the other papers. And so I thought that worked really well, trying to bring that in. I'm trying to bring up that aqua down at the bottom flower up to the top of the layout as well. Not really worried about having aqua all over, because there is a little splash of it in the background of the paper. It's just like there is a little splash of the peach. The only part that really doesn't go well with it, I think, would probably be the gray circles. Like if I would have had brown circles, that would have made a big difference. But the gray is what kind of seemed to not really work, except that the butterflies are printed in a bluey gray. And so it to me just seems like it all works somehow. I don't know, even though the flowers are ultra bright compared to everything else. But if you look really close to the pattern paper, the ultra bright flower colors are in the paper, at least the peaches and the blues. So anyways, went ahead and put my uber long title down. I had to glue down all of the pieces except for the pink letters. So I glued those all down, and now I am just trying to fill in that gap between the I and the S to make it look like I put it there on purpose, because I didn't want to put the I next to the S, because then it would look like all one word instead of two. And an I definitely looks weird standing by itself, at the beginning of a sentence or a title or anything like that. So I definitely wanted to make it look like, I purposely put it up there because I needed room for this. So then I'm going to fill in a little bit more gaps. Like I said, that small little branding strip is, just another additional little add-on, but if it felt naked all by its lonesome. So I wanted to add a few more little things over there to draw your eye from one side of the layout to the other across all the photos and things like that. If you put too many embellishments going on and you make it look like a wow layout, sometimes the wow part of your layout gets looked at more than your wow part of your photos. And so I'm just trying to create that equal balance. And then, of course, I pulled out these enamel dots because I haven't played with those for a while. And I picked the ones that matched my leaves in the flower cluster more than any other color. I didn't think bright pink would have looked really good on this layout, to be honest. And then definitely not red. So I went with, the lesser of the evils and picked the blue. And that is what I have for today. I absolutely love long titles, you guys. I really like how much space they take up and what little effort you have to put on the layout because of your large title. So anyways, I really enjoyed this prompt for today. Please be sure to check out everyone else that is adding their videos into the playlist. That whole list is linked down below. In the description box below this video, as well as the Facebook group for those that aren't recording their beautiful creations. They're posting them, and there's an entire album. Oh my gosh, so many layouts are in there, so much inspiration just based off of the prompt. And if you're not following the prompts, it's still a ton of inspiration, and I love it. So anyways, thank you so much, and I will check y'all later. Bye.